3, 2, 1. Welcome to the second part of the Myst analysis. So if you have yet to catch the first part, remember the link is down in the bio. Or if you can't find it, you can actually go to our YouTube channel and that will be posted very soon, right? So if you're listening to us on podcast, welcome to the show. And if you're watching us on YouTube, hello everybody. And today we have none other than Caleb.
Hello.
Once again, our investment analyst who will be sharing with us a little bit more about the Myst, right, in general. And I think specifically comparative analysis, numbers-driven approach to see how the Myst is faring as a OCR project, right?
It's quite exciting. I think there's a lot of people who are quite interested.
Yes.
Quite excited to know more about the Myst.
It's quite
more information is out recently.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So we can go more in depth today.
100%. So let's talk about the numbers today. All right. So Caleb, take it away. Yes.
Okay, so this is just a recap for everyone who's watching. Okay, site area is 179,000 square feet.
Yeah.
Okay, this is regular for 400 unit development.
Yes.
Okay, tenure 99 years, plot ratio 2.1.
And 24 stories.
Yes, 24 stories.
Right.
Yeah, we are actually usually higher stories are more interesting. They have better views. And overall, from what I've seen, it actually fares better than shorter developments.
100%.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
So this is in District 23.
Yeah.
This is very, very near to Cashew MRT, as you'll show you again later on.
Yeah.
Okay, first of all,
let's talk about the Myst transformation.
Yes, that's right. Okay, so first of all, I think a lot of people will be quite hyped about the Myst because they have heard about transformation. Right. What have you heard about transformation so far, Jervis?
Transformation happens everywhere in Singapore. Right. And I think ultimately, there's some big transformation that's happening nearby, right? Not too near as well, like the Tengah New Town transformation, right? The Jurong Lake District transformation was why I first bought Twinview in the past. And guess what? Do you see any train there?
Nope.
Yeah, absolutely, right? So I am not for transformation. I know a lot of people are for transformation, but let's talk a little bit more about what are some of the transformations nearby and actually how near are they to the Myst? Yeah.
Yeah. So actually, if you take a look very closely, right, Tengah and Jurong are all not very, very near to Cashew, and even Jurong Lake District, which is the major transformation in the future, actually. A lot of people, what they don't realize is that transformation takes time. And it really depends on how long you plan to hold the property.
Yeah.
But if you're looking for something that is more of a short-term flip, for example, a new launch that's 99 year as opposed to a freehold for a long-term hold, then you also have to consider how long will it take for the new developments to come up in those transformation areas.
Yeah, so I think transformation in a macro perspective is good for convenience, right? It's also good for you if you're staying there, it's going to provide you some more amenities. But it's not that Singapore is not convenient anymore. And that's the reason why Singapore as a nation state is not greatly impacted by transformation because we have already been very developed as a nation. Let's say we are a developing nation, right? Transformation really, really works. Like when I was in Vietnam, Ho Chi Minh, right, looking at properties, like they were talking about the transformation in District 2 in the Binh Thuong area, and it's like, wow, you can see it because now it's just like paddy fields, Yeah, so transformation really works, right? But in Singapore, not so much. And I personally feel, based on what you're saying as well, is that transformation is something that's overrated, especially near this area, because it's quite far away from actually where the Myst actually is, right?
That's
Both
right.
Caleb and I stay very near to the Myst.
Yes, that's right.
And the area is actually relatively convenient, even though it's an OOCR region, right? Yeah, back to you. Yeah.
And when people talk about transformation, right, one more thing is that you have to look at what is in your immediate surroundings as well. So not only are they far away from these transformations in the future, which is going to take a long time, if you look at the surrounding in around the Myst, there's actually not a lot of opportunities for new developments to come about in the future.
Yep.
So that is one consideration you can consider.
Yeah.
But of course, we always look at the most important thing when it comes to investment, which is entry price.
Absolutely. That's
entry price.
A key point.
The question is not just, is there going to be transformation, but is this a good price to enter at where we compare with other OCR properties?
Yes.
Other RCR properties? What are the supply in the future?
Yeah.
Right? Okay. So we have transformations. Specifically, we have Bukit Timah transformation, Jurong Lake District, Tengah Town transformation, and Jurong Innovation District.
Yeah.
Yep. So they're going to create a lot more jobs in the future.
Yeah.
But the thing is that how long is that going to take, right?
Yeah.
So one thing you need to consider for this OCR supply versus demand right now, if you take a look from 2018 to 2021, you can see that supply outstrips demand by quite a large margin.
Yeah.
right? So you can see in the past few years, actually, prices went up by quite a bit, especially in the OCR region. But this year, last year, 2022, there's actually half of the supply in the market right now. And the gap is very narrow between your supply and your demand.
Yeah.
Right. So what's happening when this happens? Of course, if you know your basic economics, right, prices will be a lot higher right now than in the past.
Yeah.
So it's very likely that you already see from some of the more recent new launches in the area or all around OCR. You can see not only are land prices a lot more expensive, but the development launch prices are also a lot more expensive.
Absolutely. All right, so something interesting to take note of is that if you take a look at the Botany, is one of the projects that has one of the largest number of balance units left, right, in the OCR region, which is nearest to the Myst, right? But to give it a little bit more justification, this project was launched one of the newest launch in the market, and that's the reason why there's the balance units, right? But I think a price tag of above 2,000 plus per square foot, right, is not something that is well received yet in District 21 or even District 23 area, right? And I think this particular slide here is showing us that, okay, based on the average 5-year demand of 3,810 new launch units per year, with the current market availability, there are just 404 units left. So with more demand outstripping supply, right, prices, they will apply an upward pressure towards pricing, right? But one thing that this chart doesn't say, right, is talking about how there's actually going to be a few more new launches that's coming into the market that increases the overall supply, overall market available in the market as well, right? So personally, based on this slide, right, the Myst, 2,400 per square foot, will you consider?
2,400? No way. Yeah.
Yeah. And reserve residences nearby was already going at the price on average,
Yes,
right?
exactly.
Yeah. But it's a very different project. Yeah.
It's not only a very different project.
Yeah.
To be honest, the reserve outbeats the Myst in a lot of different areas.
Locality as well, right?
Yes.
Way better. So till the end of the video, we're going to do the buy, wait, and avoid, approach, right? And we're going to do the bois approach to see whether, based on what we both have agreed on or analyzed, right? Are we going to buy, wait, or avoid, right? And I think the Myst is something that is very interesting because it is going to be one of the entry-level OCR projects in Singapore, right? But whether we should consider or not as investors, right? We will talk about it later on. Okay, Caleb, back to you. Yeah.
Okay, let's move on. But in terms of upgraders, if you take a look here, HDB upgraders, there's potentially going to be 155,000 flat upgraders around the Myst, right? So we have Choa Chu Kang, Bukit Batok, Bukit Panjang, and Tengah. So all of these potential upgraders may look towards the Myst as one of the potential new launches to enter into. And the reason why it is still potentially viable is because essentially new launches after the Myst will be even more pricey than the Myst itself. Yeah,
100%. Yeah. And fun fact, in this particular HDB town, like Tengah HDB town, right, it still takes quite some time, right, for all the HDB upgraders to come up. And one common trend that we realize is that, not sure whether is it just me or when I realized that there are a lot of people who, after staying in BTOs, right, they no longer want to stay near the area where they used to stay. They like to upgrade to other places, right?
That's right.
And unless their children's education, their primary school is there for convenience, right? So I think potentially there are going to be some upgraders nearby for the Myst, but that also bearing in mind, right? Number one, it's going to be a slightly longer term plan, and number two is also there are plenty of resale developments nearby, like Eco Century. That's very beautiful as well. That they can consider if the PSF is lower. Just yesterday, I ended a home tour show at Eco Century, and I tell you that place is amazing. We were on the 23rd floor, unblocked view of the entire Cashew Nature Park. Yeah. All right. Yeah.
Interesting because we are actually going to be talking a bit about Eco Sanctuary later on.
Yes, that sounds good.
All right, let's go on to the site and floor plan analysis. Okay, before that, first we take a look at something called the Conquest rating.
Yeah.
It's actually a new banding system that is more stringent now. And essentially, in summary, it evaluates how the developer has done in the past, the structural integrity of their construction, the quality of their construction as well. So they will give a band between 1 to 6, 1 being a low incidence of major defects, whereas to 6 is high incidence of major defects. Yep. So if you are not sure, as many of you may not be sure, right, when you look at new launches, whether this is going to be a solid development, how is the quality going to be like, you're not very sure about the developer's reputation, especially for developers that may not be very well known, right? So this will actually be very helpful for you to have a gauge of how the quality of the new development once it TOPs might look like.
Yep.
So in this case, for CDL, of course, CDL is very famous in Singapore.
Yeah.
Has very, very good reputation for good quality construction.
Both mass market homes and luxury homes as well. Yeah.
Yes.
So looking at the site plan of this project, right, we can take a look at, I think in terms of landscaping wise, right, okay, this is quite an ordinary kind of project, right, but understandable, right, because we are in the OCR region, okay, and the nicer the architecture, the nicer the landscaping, right, the PSF will also always be higher. And I think we previously mentioned that there are a total of 408 units on 179,000 square feet land. So looking at it, facilities wise, 很周到. Very full, right? There is, of course, your swimming pool, tennis court. Anything here particularly stands out, right? That you feel that stands out to you?
Not particularly. At least there's
right?
a tennis court.
And there's this thing called the treetop walk. Yeah, some condos don't have tennis court, right? The newer ones, some of them. Treetop walk on the second story. And fun fact, we have vibes who tell us that they want to specifically buy tennis court. Right, tennis court developments with tennis courts, right? And I think that's quite an important thing for them. But okay, great, looks quite ordinary. And let's talk about the location of the Myst, yeah.
Okay, so let's take a look at the Myst on the map. Okay, we can see that it's actually very, very close to Cashew MRT.
Yeah.
So that is actually the unique selling point of the Myst. And why it's so unique is because the next new launch is upcoming. Okay, one is The Arden, but The Arden is actually a smaller development.
Yeah.
There's more towards the Bukit Panjang Phoenix LRT side.
Up the hill.
Up the hill.
Yeah.
And the next one is actually Hillview Rise.
Yeah.
But Hillview Rise is also further away from Cashew MRT.
Yes.
So in terms of future
Proximity.
new developments, right, that will be near to Cashew MRT, there will not be many.
I hear you on that. Yeah.
If not any.
Yeah. So I know the Cashew area, right? Rarely do they have new launches, right? And there's also a reason behind that, right? I think it takes a certain group of people to stay in the West. Like for me and you, we grow up staying in the West. But seeing more and more people shifting towards the RCR and the East area already, right?
That's right.
And this West, right, is not really the West area that a lot of people are very comfortable with if we talk about places like Cashew area, right? So I understand, right? Okay, I hear you loud and clear that there is not going to be many new launches, and the Myst being one of the few projects that is closest to Cashew MRT station. Yeah. All right, let's talk about the nearby, the URA master plan then, right? What do you have in terms of interpretation for this?
Okay, so the only, in my opinion, the only future development that's possible that could actually push up the prices of the Myst is actually this, over here you can see, subject to
detailed evaluation.
Yes, correct.
Yeah, planning.
So currently it's quite empty and it could be a commercial mall in the future as well.
Yeah.
Next to Junction 10 and also Hillion Mall.
Yeah.
But the thing is that we are not sure when it's going to come out.
It's confirmed now.
Yes. And if you're looking to buy a 99-year leasehold for investment, for example, then you may not want to look to hold it for a long time.
Yeah.
And this may not be very certain.
Yeah.
You don't know when it's going to come out.
100%. Yeah. So don't bang on that, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's go to the unit mix. All right. So there's quite a lot of options. Okay. We have one bedroom.
Residences.
Yes. We have quite a few options, even though there's only around 400 units. It's decent, but it's good that they have a lot more options. We have 1 bed plus study, 2 bed plus study, and up to 5 bedroom as well.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Jerry, just want to ask you, right?
Yes.
What do you think is going to be the most popular bed sizes in this area, D23?
Definitely, I think. Okay, so based on the on-the-ground knowledge that we have, right, 3 bedrooms are very popular in D23 because it's perfect for upgraders. Surprisingly, 4 bedrooms, I remember through the reserve analysis, right, it's not the most popular, right, because it seems like the District 23 area is like a migration stop, right, where family reaches a certain size, they'll go to the D23. After that, they go bigger, they're going to go towards the RCR and CCR region, especially when affluence grows. I think that 1-bedder seems to be quite popular amongst many individuals in D23 because a lot of the units that we had been selling in D23, right, they are all studio units, right, and it goes up quite quickly, especially for young couples. So that's my perspective.
So I think you're quite accurate. You can see that in terms of supply is lower and the demand is higher.
Very high. I see.
Yeah, studio condo.
Yeah.
Yep. And one thing I think is also in terms of quantum, because if you're looking to enter into a new launch or a condo, for example, then for those with a lower budget, they'll be more sensitive to quantum.
Yeah.
So if you're looking at areas like that are cheaper, for example D23, compared to RCR or CCR, then they will be more inclined towards looking at smaller bedrooms if their priority is going for small to enter into a condo as opposed to, for example,
a HDB. Yeah, that's what I see. I've served a lot of District 23 buyers who are selling listings, right? Where a lot of them are young couples wanting to stay near their parents or staying in the west, maybe Bukit Panjang, Bukit Batok area, and they like condo living, right? And they also are not planning to have kids so soon. That's why I understand why studio is high in terms of demand, right? 3-bedroom as well. Yeah, great.
Okay. Let's go through some of the layouts that we have. Firstly, 1 plus study. Okay, you can take a look. 1 plus study is about 517 square feet. So what is actually quite interesting about the Myst is that it's actually smaller in size compared to the Botany.
Yes.
For most of the layouts that's available. So what this means is that quantum will be lower as well.
Yeah. So we are estimating, firstly, the PSF at 2,000 per square foot. Hopefully not. I think developers going through 1,008, 1,009. I think so. In terms of the draft, right, it's because this, as of today is 7th of June, right? The finalized floor plans are not out yet, but we also hope to churn out content as much as we can for you guys so that you can make a better decision. And that's why it's not a finalized floor plan that we're talking about, right?
Review will be out around 3 weeks' time.
3 weeks' time, yeah. So I think that will be 27th of June.
Yep.
Yeah. So looking at the 1 bedroom, okay lah, not too bad, right? Able to fit a king size. You can put 1 bedside table. Yeah, but seems smaller in terms of size as well. Yeah. So if we look at the 2-bedroom, right, I think it's quite interesting to note that this is a 678 square feet. So we didn't include all the floor plans in because it's going to confuse everybody. And we just want to show you that the quantum-wise is actually quite palatable. For 1.35 million, 678 square feet. A 775 square feet nearby at Eco Century is going at around 1.1 to 1.2 million, depending on which floor you are on, right? Yesterday, the listing that JNA is selling is on the 23rd floor. It actually is going at 1.2. We have a listing that's on the 7th floor that's going at about 1.07 million, right? So to put things into perspective, this new launch is still more expensive than the nearest the launch that is in the market, right? But looks like it layout-wise, it makes sense, yeah? Let's head on to the 2-bedroom plus study. Yeah, similarly, regular shaped study area. That's a little too close to comfort to the kitchen. What do you think?
That's right. It's it depends on what preferences there are, but mostly people don't really want to walk in and then straight away it's a kitchen.
Yeah. Can you imagine you study halfway, you walk out, then straight away it's the kitchen, someone is cooking there.
Exactly.
So layout-wise, may not be the most resellable, right? And that comes with the practicality of the space, okay? So looking at the 3-bedroom layout over here, we can see that it's actually quite comfortable in size. Quite questionable, 850 square feet. We can talk about that later on, right? But you have an enclosable kitchen, right? To the left, there's bedroom 3, dumbbell layout, and very little corridor space, which gives more space to the bedroom, right? At 1.7 million. So what do you think about this?
So what's actually interesting, right? If you take a look at this, is 850 square feet is a very regular number, but it's actually
it's a very common number, right?
Yes. For 2-bedder, actually. Yeah. For more recent developments. Older one, for example, Bencoolen, but a more recent one is Mayfair Modern.
Yes.
Right, there are 2-bedders actually going at 850 square feet.
Absolutely.
So you can see, right, the effect of increased PSF, how the developers have to position their products in order to ensure that it's still affordable for people.
Yes. And livability wise, right? I think the 3-bedroom at 850 square feet, from what I'm seeing over here, seems quite comfortable. Okay. Of course, there's going to be one concern. That's the storeroom. Right? I can share with you one reason why I sold Twinview after I entered. You knew that I wanted to get married earlier. But when I saw Twinview open the doors, I said, nah, we can't. Because there's no space for storage at all. And I'm someone who I like to keep a lot of things. So that's one of the concerns. Of course, one of the bedrooms can be converted as a storage room. But I think that it's quite interesting to take a look at the 1023 square feet premium units. Okay. And fun fact, in our investment analysis, when we take a look at, products that are in the OCR region, mass market region, right? We realize that premium units actually make more. My clients that recently just bought Treasure Premium, right? They are able to cash out at 480k per unit. They bought 2 in 3 years. Yeah. So in an OCR region, be a bit mindful about this, right? Don't just jump into conclusion and say, oh no, 3-bedroom seems good, 850 square feet, very goodly compact. But it's not livable. If it's not livable and it's not practical for the upgraders, then no one's going to buy it. And they'll sell at a lower valuation, right? All right. 3-bedroom premium.
3-bedroom premium.
You're talking about it. 1033 square feet. This is a practical layout. But the price is also very practical. 2.06.
Definitely. If you see the layout is efficient, okay, 2.06 is a little bit high, but if you compare it directly with the Botany, right, they actually don't have a wet kitchen. So what's interesting is this 3-bedroom premium has both a dry kitchen and a wet kitchen. Yeah, and another difference between this one 3-bedroom premium compared to the Botany is instead of the utility room is a bomb shelter.
Yes, so the utility room is something that's good, especially when it's like connected to the corridor area where it can be easily accessed, right, without having to walk through the entire yard and wet kitchen. I think this layout is quite suitable. Just that, of course, a long corridor space is something that's a wasted space, right? A dumbbell layout would definitely be way better, but you can't ask for everything, right? Okay, great. Interestingly, 4-bedroom, 1518 square feet. Tell me more.
So 4-bedroom, finally you see a household shelter. Yes. There's also very little wasted space, although the walkway is a little bit off, a little bit odd. But overall, the shape is still efficient.
You still have a walk-in wardrobe, right?
That's right. You still have walk-in wardrobe.
Honestly, $3 million in District 23?
That's one concern. The larger bedrooms, people who are looking at something that is larger, if they want to look for own stay, right, they may just look at resale instead, because resale, right,
way cheaper.
It's not only way cheaper, but also way larger. But if they want to look, for example, for prestige or for location purposes, they will turn to look at RC and
maybe
CC,
for families like who have already decided that they want to stay in D23 for long already. They have been staying everywhere in Singapore. They realize that this is the place they love, right?
That's right.
And they say, I'm going to go for something that's of more prestige, like what you say. And just buy something that's about 3 million. Right? Yeah. But we are, our Singapore Real Estate Explained podcast is speaking specifically to investors, right? Not own stay buyers. So own stay buyers wise, it's based on your happiness, right? But investors, take note.
This will be suitable for people who want to who want peace and quiet in the area, because there's really not much there.
That's so. What? You just it's true there's really not much there. You can see he was chuckling away because you know what? When we go for, sometimes we go for our walks, right? Or we go for our prayer walks, we always like to go to East Coast Park. And West Coast Park is not too bad, but it's very different vibes and amenities why not too much, right?
Even in our area, right, there's a lot of nothing. So
so I stay in the UT. We both stay in the UT area.
Yeah.
The food that I've been eating growing up, right, has been the same for the past 10-15 years, right? But honestly, it's very well connected. Okay, there's everything, right? It's just that maybe I've been staying for 20 years, everything I eat is the same, right? So okay.
But this is a little bit far from Cashew, a little bit different. Cashew does not really have as much malls as Choa Chu Kang and UT area.
Drive, or you need to Wow. Okay, 5-bedroom.
Yeah. So there's actually a 5-bedroom. Okay, it's only slightly larger. If you take a look, if you compare, right, it's only about 150 square feet larger than a 4-bedroom. Yeah. But in terms of practicality, there will be an additional room. So that's something that you can consider as well. The quantum increase is only about 300,000. And there's not many 5-bedders in the area also. So even though
that's true.
We can say that 4-bedders, 3 or 4-bedders may not be as popular as 1 or 2-bedders, but 5-bedders having a very, very low supply could actually mean
niche
that it's more of a niche unit size. So this is something that you can consider. You can take a look at the layout.
And the good thing is that there's also a junior master, right, to the left. So I think quite good for multi-gen living if you're considering one, right? If not, maybe then the downgraders in the area maybe considering this place as well. Who need more bedrooms. But 3.38 million, will you consider the east or will you consider the west? You got the answer. We got the answer. Yeah. Especially for investor. Okay, let's go on to the comparative analysis towards the new launches.
First of all, we can take a look at OCR and D23. So this is just to see what's the difference between OCR and D23. But for this year, you can see that the prices are quite similar, and it's because majority of the transactions are actually at the Botany. So you compare. It's currently the pricing is about 2060, 2070 PSF.
And one thing about the OCR region is that the OCR region, right, is actually quite broad a term, right? Cashew, is known to be one of the OCR regions as well. So just be mindful of that as well, analyzing this. And I think what you mentioned is very spot on, right? This year, specifically in D23 for new launches, is mainly the Botany. And that's why it's 2,079 square feet, right?
Right?
So it doesn't mean that, oh no, if it's 2,000 square feet, 2,000 PSF is really a good buy. Okay, so please beware of that. Yeah. And I think in the next photo, right, next slide, we're able to show you a little bit more about the distance between the Myst as well as Botany and Dairy Farm residences.
Yep.
Yeah,
so essentially, we are only taking a look at the Botany and Dairy Farm residences when comparing new launches because these are the ones that are closest to the Myst.
Yep.
But you must be aware of the differences between the Myst and these two developments, right? Is that the Myst is very close to MRT.
Yeah.
That's the unique selling point of the Myst, as I mentioned previously.
And it's definitely way more connected to amenities because Dairy Farm Residences, Dairy Farm Residences is an integrated development, right? So definitely there's going to be some eateries and some shops there. Botany and Dairy is, obviously you can use the amenities of Dairy Farm if you're staying at the Botany, right? But as of right now, that particular area really don't have a lot of things around.
That's right.
And there's a lot of monkeys around. A lot of monkeys around. So fun fact, right? Eco Century, my owners told me that if you are staying anything under the 14th floor and you're facing towards the Chestnut Nature Park, you get to see a lot of monkeys coming into your balcony, and that's not a good thing. That's not a good thing in Singapore, yeah. But the Myst is really all the way away
I've never seen them.
Hey, these are practical problems that, only living there, then you understand. You know why? Because during a viewing, right, the realtor is definitely going to chase out the monkeys when the monkeys are there, right? I'm not going to have a monkey in the house.
Maybe you can
right?
throw a bunch of bananas outside the window.
Yes, right. Monkeys eat
Distract
everything. They are scavengers, right? They eat everything. So these are practical things staying near a nature park, right? And the Myst is definitely way more well connected as well. Yeah. Okay, let's talk about the Botany at Dairy Farm, right? This is where the locality is.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, you can see it's right next to each other.
Yeah.
Over here, there's nothing much around here right now. You can see here. There's not many malls or schools over here, right? But in terms of connectivity, it's not really near any MRT as
Absolutely.
well. The nearest one is still Cashew.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So first we take a look at the Botany. Okay, it was quite hyped up in the early part of the year
Because of the lower PSF, right? But it's also one of the most
correct.
one of the most ulu places also like
Yes,
Singapore.
that's right.
Yeah, more ulu lah.
Yeah. So you may be attracted to a price as well, but you must always consider different aspects of the development as well.
100%.
And also you must consider your exit strategy.
100%.
Okay, so for the Botany, 99 yearly, so you can see that actually I would say that the take-up rate is actually not bad. But if you look at the breakdown, you will see it in a while. You can kind of understand why. All right, so you can see here the starting price was around 2,069. Okay, and then take-up rate was actually about 48% in March. Yeah, but subsequently there's the take-up rate has been slow for the last 2 months.
Yeah.
Okay, but we take a look here, right? You can see the 1-bedder, 2-bedder, and 2-bedroom premium are almost all taken up.
Yeah, interesting, huh? Yeah.
But you can take a look. 3-bedroom, 4-bedroom, and 5-bedroom.
The 5-bedroom, three individuals bought it, right? The 3-bedroom premium 6. Yeah. I think it takes some time for people to accept that price quantum and at PSF in Dairy Farm.
That's right.
But I think as more GLS and en bloc come in the next 2 years and 3 years, the developers will be able to wait because PSF will start going up.
Yeah.
So they are always waiting for that time. It's like Treasure at 10 minutes at time. Starting only 9% so, And after that, subsequently, it went very fast because they became the cheapest. They slowly became the cheapest. Yeah.
That's right. Sentiment, public sentiment is very important as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if they haven't really been in the market for very long, they may assume that, prices are just currently very high.
Yeah.
So, but there's something that they need to consider is what is the supply going to be like in the future? And it's more likely that prices will be going up and up because your land bid is higher, cost higher, right?
Yeah.
Your developer has to make a profit margin. They have to price it higher.
Yes.
So eventually, as you said, right, the norm price will actually get higher and higher.
Yes.
Then people will take some time to get used to that.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so we take a look at Botany. The most recent transactions, you can see the PSF is going at 2000, even 2002 for 2-bedder.
PSF for a 7th floor unit.
Between the Botany and the Myst, what is your preference?
The Myst.
The Myst.
Because the Myst is definitely way more connected and it's near the MRT station, right? Cashew, right? Yeah.
And if you cross the road, actually, there's Hillion too.
Yeah, it's quite convenient. Yeah, there's gym, cold storage, eateries, cafes. this place really have to drive out there for now. Dairy farm residences will be built first, right? But 2002 seems a little bullish for me in this part. In this
Even
particular
2003, you can see it.
Yeah.
2003. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Wow. Okay, let's talk about dairy farm residences.
Okay, so dairy farm residences is started in 2018, still uncompleted.
Yep.
But the starting price is actually lower than the Botany, even though it's right next to each other.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's already a sub-sale unit in dairy farm, I remember. Later, let's go and take a look. Yeah.
So if you take a look here, right, its starting price is about 1.5 plus. So you can see that prices are slowly going up.
I vividly remember when Rodney, one of our taggers in the team, said, Jervis, dairy farm residences 1,006 per square foot. I said, crazy. No, I'm not going to ask my buyers to buy. And I really didn't ask any of the buyers to buy. But after that, when I saw Botany launching at 1,009 and dairy farm, I think sub-sale went for, I think, around 1,008, if I'm not wrong. I think there's one transaction, right? I was like, wow, really? Yeah, and there's always this part of us that we still don't accept the pricing sometimes, right? But it's easy to accept pricing in District 15, District 9, 10, 11 because you see the potential. But in this kind of areas, right, it's like I'm just be very honest here, right? It's like the Loyang of Singapore, like, of the East, right? Cashew is like the Loyang of the West, right? So slowly you start seeing prices going up, right? And then you see a Lake Point, right? 2001, 2002 indicative launch. You will get to understand that PSF is on the upward trajectory, right? And the key thing over here is how do you then identify the right per square foot and the right entry price to enter by also ensuring that there's an ease of liquidity so that you're not going to get stuck. Because a lot of people face the problem of getting their asset stuck and they can't sell it, right? So
That's
if you are wondering how you can contact us or talk to us about your investment, which a lot of you guys have been, I'm going to add the WhatsApp number over here, right? And of course, customarily, if you want to join a Telegram group chat, which a lot of you guys have been in, right over here as well, it's going to be here. So scan the QR code and let us know before you make a big decision. It's always not bad to seek a second opinion, right? Before buying something. Yeah. All right, let's go back to this.
Okay.
Yeah.
So eventually, it was 100% sold. Partially, as mentioned before, because it was going at about 1,005 to 1,550. Yeah. And when you look at the Botany, you can see how much overpriced it is now. But yet your 1 to 2 bedders are actually all sold out still.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can see that there's a little bit more demand in recent times for new launches in the area also. Even though there's not too much appreciation potential in terms of future development or transformation in the area.
Yes.
Okay, so let's take a look at the historical transactions. Most recently, 2023.
Yeah, 1,008 to 7.
Yeah, 1,008
6
to
to 4
7. One sub-sale.
Yeah.
The rest are new sale. New sale about 18 to 19.
Yeah.
So the interesting thing about the Myst, right, is actually it's transacted via private treaty. So we actually don't know what is the cost of land from the treaty. So it could very well vary from 1,800 to 2,000 plus.
Yeah. I recall that previously we mentioned that the land was actually sold quite long ago, right, to CDL. And I think that that time they managed to catch it before the trend of, all the en bloc and GLS prices going up. I think that around 1,000, there isn't a potential that maybe they bought it at 1,006 or even 1,005 per square foot. But looking at it, they're not going to sell under 1,007 now, because the market is going at 2,000. But CDL has a track record and reputation of allowing others to launch first before launching at a price that is very realistic, close to the previous launch. And that's why people like to snap up. Like Whistler Grand, you take a look. They didn't increase the prices by too much. They launched it very realistically above break-even pricing. Yeah. So maybe talk a little bit more about the upcoming land bids in the area. And I think that one of it that we are seeing over here is that we have a particular plot at Hillview Rise, right?
Yes.
Tell us more about it. Yeah.
Okay, so it's actually next to Hill V2 over here. You can see
Good
the
plot,
blue
Good place,
plot.
yeah.
Yes, it's quite
It's like the Holland village of Hillview.
Yes, although
we in the West can be a township already at the Hillview and Cashew area. We can describe it like Singapore. Yeah.
but not as bustling as and prestigious as Holland.
100%. 100%.
Yeah, but definitely more bustling right now than your
in the
dairy farm and your Botany.
Yes.
Yeah. So what is important to note is that you can look at your future land bid prices to hedge against as to see whether it's likely for your prices to go up, whether this land price will be very expensive in the future and it will even potentially pull up your prices of the Myst. But looking at the break even, the estimate is 1,007, right? If you look at the average break even margin from 20% to 25%, okay, it's not going to be that much from 2000 to 2001.
Yep.
Yeah. So it's only so personally, I would feel that maybe if you're entering at about 18 to 19,
100.
then 1900, then there will be a chance for this development to actually pull out the prices.
The Myst. Okay, interesting.
Alternatively, right, if this development launches at 2,000 in, let's say, end of this year or next year, then this could also potentially be a good buy.
Yeah. A good buy or a good buy?
Good purchase.
Good purchase. Okay. So my question here is, right, will you consider this or consider the Myst?
It really depends on your
entry price,
your timeline, and the entry price. Yeah. So you have to look at what's the price going to be launched at.
What about location wise?
Location wise, I would prefer this actually.
100%, right?
Yeah.
It's a nice enclave. And it's really very connected. The MRT station is well connected. It's there. There's plenty of cafes.
That's right.
The Myst is still relatively misty in terms of the nearby amenities, right?
Yes. Yeah. But it's all right. It's next to Cashew MRT. So that's one point that it has over, Hillview Rise.
All right. Okay, let's go on to talking about the comparative analysis to the resale. And one of the main reasons why we want to compare to resale is because we have come up with the resale price gap methodology and analysis to allow us to see whether should we consider resale counterparts or should we consider new launch counterparts, right? So let's go deep into resale. I believe that resale has a lot of opportunities in this area. Looking at the PSF.
Okay, let's take a look. Let's take a look. So, firstly, right, specifically near the Cashew MRT, right, there's only the Myst. So that's another strength of the Myst is that in terms of supply next to Cashew MRT, it's pretty much the only one. So there's actually two sites. One, you have the dairy farm site and one, you have the Bukit Panjang site.
Yeah.
So over here, we can take a look at the dairy farm site first. And the most recent comparable developments we can look at is the Skywoods and also Eco Sanctuary, which you have just seen recently.
And it's indeed true that PSF in District 23 is not as cheap as what we thought.
Yes.
Yeah, and Eco Sanctuary now, the PSF is going at 1,700 already, you know?
That's right.
For high floor units.
That's right.
Yeah.
And for the Bukit Panjang to Phoenix LRT site, we have two developments that we can try and use to gauge what the price of the Myst should be, of the entry price should be. We have Hillsta. Okay, Hillsta is over here. And we have Hillion Residences, of course. Hillion Residences is not only at the MRT station, essentially, there's also two malls. You have Hillion Mall and you have Bukit Panjang Plaza. Right? So there's two malls in the area. We're going to see how well they did.
Yes.
Right? From the purchase up to now.
Beautiful. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about the
Skywoods first. Yes. In the dairy farm area.
Yes.
Okay.
So Skywoods, looking at it, is a 99 years project, right? Completed in the year 2016, still relatively new. Very similar in attributes with 420 units as well. And interestingly, the average PSF is 1,434 per square foot, right? Prices went up since 2018 and 2020 when it took a slight dip. Yeah. Tell us more about what's your analysis for this. Yeah.
Okay, so one thing that we need to look at as well, right, is what is the asking price. So if you take a look at the bottom chart, right, you can see most of the transactions, these dots are all individual transactions. And the prices, you can see the average are 1,450. But currently, there's not too many who are actually selling, and they are only selling at 1,007 or so.
Wow, they're waiting for the Botany and dairy farm launch.
That's right. And they are already anticipating that they are able to price at a higher price because of the Botany
100%.
and dairy farm.
So how does the resale price gap looks like for this?
Okay, let's take a look here. So currently the resale price gap is 44%. And we are using the Botany as a reference price because most likely the Myst is going to be priced similarly to the Botany.
Yep.
Okay. And you can see that the difference is that the Myst is over here.
Yep.
Right? And the Skywoods and the Botany is right next to each other.
Yep.
So you can see a price difference of 44% for a 10-year difference. It's actually pointing that in favor of the resale, to be honest.
So it means buying resale Skywoods is actually better than considering the Myst and the Botany and dairy farm. Okay, so for those who don't know what a resale price gap analysis is, I'm going to share with you one thing, right? I think you have seen a lot of ads. You have seen a lot of agents saying that buying new launch is better or trying to find ways to tell you that buying new launch is not good and then they'll bring you to buy new launch eventually. I just want to put it out there clear that buying resale properties can also make money. The key here is about choosing the right one. Okay, so if you don't know what the resale price gap analysis is, just contact us. I think we can share with you a little bit more about what's the price difference and what's the years difference, right? The tenure difference for you to consider a resale nearby. Like an example over here, Skywoods seem to be a bit more attractive than any of the new launches there's in the area, right? All right, so let's go. I sound very passionate about this because we just want to bring the truth, like the business and industry, right? All right, let's talk about the Skywoods in terms of per square foot transactions. 1,004, 1,005. Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah.
But majority you can see now, right? The average is about 1,007.
Right? Yeah, asking.
Yeah. So you can see the prices most likely will start to creep up.
And one thing that I realized about Skywoods is that transaction volume is very healthy. In May all the way till December 2022, you're going to see unit size like 527, 581, all the way to 1,249, 1,292 square feet. Units are flying off the shelves and they are not the highest floor units, right? We have fifth floor unit, first floor patio units, right? So it shows that there's actually quite healthy demand. So a very niche location, in Caleb's words, not much things around. Also a niche group of buyers who are considering as well, right? When Reserve Residences launch, a lot of you guys have called us and asked to choose units for you, right? And we also know that a lot of us have put you away from Reserve Residences and asked you to consider resale options nearby as well because it's way cheaper and way more valued, right? So similarly, right, there's always this group of individuals who are looking for the West launches, right? So if you're watching this and you're considering the Myst, right, remember, don't jump too fast, right? Wait for the PSF to be out, talk to us. We'll advise you what unit you can consider in the Myst if you want to buy for investment at least, okay? Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay, and we can take a look at the profitable transactions and unprofitable transactions as well. And what is the relevance of this is to see how they have performed and at what entry price, and also which are the unit sizes that actually perform the best, right? So if you take a look at the Skywoods, a majority are still 3 bedders and a couple of 1 and 2 bedders mixed in.
Yeah.
Yep.
If you see the top profits, right? Top profits are all in the 3 bedrooms, right? 195, 163, 119 square feet. We have the top profits with a slightly shorter holding period. Actually quite similar for all, right? But for the bigger size, the smaller size one, you can see held for 3,494 days. 0818 527 square feet only made $24,000. And there is no profit because after buyer stamp duty and agent commission, there is no profit for this unit. But you must understand that 2013, the market was hot. Yeah, till cooling measures hit really. The full aftermath of the cooling measures came post 2015. That's the reason why buyers who bought 2016 entered at the right time.
That's right.
But today's market is very different really because the market right now is more developed. Real estate market is more stable, right? Very regulated. No longer going to see the huge bull and huge bear run anymore in Singapore. Yeah. Unprofitable transaction seems very interesting that people will buy 1,003 in 2014. I think on hindsight we can understand, but maybe then it's a little tougher. Yeah. What is your understanding of this?
Well, there are many reasons why, they would want to transact. Perhaps they are looking to enter into a bigger development. For example, they see an opportunity during the COVID period and they wanted to upgrade. So that's one possibility. But you can also see that even for the unprofitable transactions, the loss is quite little. So annualized returns on average, you can see is about 3% for the Skywoods. Okay.
Sounds good.
But take note, right? This is before the Botany and dairy farm is completed. And this is very likely, right, when you have a new benchmark price set by a dairy farm and eventually the Botany. In the for dairy farm will be probably this year or next year, right? When it TOPs, you must understand the resale sellers are going to price it a lot higher. And you will set a new benchmark price in the area. So this will give an opportunity for people who actually have a resale development in the area to sell at a higher price.
To start offloading the property. Great. Okay, stop here for a while. Too long already. So we need to cut short because 52 minutes already is too long.
Okay.
And you still have like 3 more developments there.
Okay.
So
I'll try to go faster.
I need to no need extra too much. Just go chop.
Okay.
Point by point.
Okay, I understand. I think I go too fast. Okay. So you can start.
Like maybe 10 seconds.
Okay.
Okay, let's start Eco-Century, yeah?
Okay.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, go. So, interestingly, Eco-Century, one of the very unique developments that I see, okay? What we are seeing here is 483 units, completed recently, 2016 as well. And very similar, right, in terms of land area to the Myst, right? Eco-Century offers a very, I would say, quiet and serene living, right? Because some corner blocks at Block 63, they have beautiful views, even up to the River Safari, the greenery view as well. Yeah. So let's talk about the resale price gap of this, Caleb.
Okay, let's go. we have 34%. Okay, you can see that in terms of location, it's not exactly at the Reef Farm, it's more a Chestnut area.
Yep.
So it's even further from the Myst.
Yep.
Yeah, but the price gap is about 34%.
Yeah. Yeah.
With a 10-year difference also.
Yeah. And that being said means, should you consider Eco or should you consider, Botany? Let's say, or the Myst, right? We use Botany for a representation of the Myst, right? So looking at this resale price gap, should you consider Eco or should you consider Botany?
Okay, the thing is that you must actually look at the launch price. So this percentage difference, right, is only based on the current price.
Yeah.
But upon launch, your resale prices is going to be pushed up.
Yeah.
And the more selling transactions there are, right, the more sellers will want to push up prices.
Yeah.
So it will be about 40+%.
Yeah.
Then in which case, I will think that resale will be a better option.
Yeah. And if you go on to the next slide on the recent transactions that happened, if you zoom all the way in, you can see that the prices have been on an upward climb, right? It started off in 2022 at 1,312 per square foot and is now going up towards 1,600. And I tell you, Eco-Century individuals are even selling at 1,700 right now. So that's absolutely true, right? Wait for the prices of the Myst to come out and see what is then the average sale price of Eco-Century. From there, you can make a better choice, okay? And if you take a look at the profitable transactions, high amount of profits made, right? Individuals who even bought in 2013 at a good price at $501,000 in terms of profit. And you're going to see that even the smaller size bedrooms are one of the top profit earners, right, in the market as well. 667 square feet, 506 square feet. So I think just now, as we are mentioning to you, studio units seems to be quite highly demanded in the area, right? For young couples upgrading and 3-bedroom units specifically. You don't see much 4 and 5-bedroom making a lot of money. Maybe don't have, that's number one. Number two is also, it's very niche, right?
That's right.
Okay, Hillsta. Caleb, let's talk about Hillsta.
Okay, so next we have Hillsta, closer to the Bukit Panjang area. This is for Phoenix Road actually.
Yes.
So compared to 2016, also similarly about 400 units. Land size very similar as well. Yep. The starting price is actually very, very close to 1,020, 1,030. Eventually, after 10 years, it actually rose by 370 PSF.
Yeah.
Yep.
And if you take a look at the resale price gap later on, you can see that based on Botany's price right now, it's about 59.85%. Quite a big difference. And of course, in terms of location-wise, it's slightly different. Cashew is still a little bit more central compared to where, Hillsta is. But to be really honest, not much of a big difference when you drive, right? Yeah. Okay, let's take a look at the historical transactions and maybe share with me your interpretation. Yeah.
So if you take a look, right, historical transactions wise, we have mostly the more recent transactions are 500 to 900. Yeah, there's not a lot of very large developments inside Hillsta. Okay, but if you take a look at profitable transactions, currently there's actually, I'm not sure whether it's a bit hard to see.
Yeah, maybe we can zoom in a bit.
Okay, let me see. Okay. All right, so you can see here, right, that there's quite a equal number of profitable transactions and unprofitable transactions.
Yeah.
Okay, majority are small developments because majority of the units there are quite small. Small units, sorry. But the thing is that there's actually opportunity when you see that there's unprofitable transactions. So sometimes it doesn't necessarily mean that having a lot of unprofitable transactions is bad for you. Because when you compare the prices, if the owner actually sold it at a loss, then it's also an opportunity for you to enter.
Yeah, agree.
So it's very important to compare with your the surroundings. Most recent developments should have a higher weightage when you're comparing prices.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So let's talk about Hillion Residences, one of the few mixed developments in the area as well. Well connected, similar in terms of land area at about 180,000 square feet, right? 546 units. And interestingly, this project has been doing really well in terms of the average PSF sold in the resale market, right? If you go on to the resale price gap, we're going to see that it's just a 21.42% difference, right? And if you go on to the historical transactions, people are already selling at 1,008 to 1,007 per square foot, right? With one of the key transactions that catch my eye is 17 April 2023 on the 20th floor, 1,843 per square foot, 1,356 square feet at $2.5 million. This is a 4-bedroom. And then the 21st floor, Stack 31 on the 17th of October 2022, 1,356 square feet at $2.27 million, which also means that a year ago, people are already paying close to $2.3 million for a 4-bedroom in the area, and now let alone a $2.5 million, right? And as we head on, right, to the profitable and unprofitable transactions, you're going to notice that most of the unprofitable transactions are all the 1-bedroom at 463 square feet. So one thing is that livability is very important. But similarly, there are also a couple of 463 square feet units when they enter at the right per square foot, let's say 135 instead of 16 or 15, right? They made some money. But the top profits, right, if you take a look, is both 2001 as well as 2131, and these are the bigger size 4-bedrooms, right? Making $713,000 in 10 years, right?
That's right. This development, right, is actually very, very unique because it's literally situated, right, on top of one of the biggest malls in the Bukit Panjang area, right next to Bukit Panjang MRT.
Yeah.
And there's just another mall across the road. So you won't be able to find something with all these qualitative aspects.
Yeah.
And it's actually going at a very affordable rate.
Yeah.
So even though the prices, right, is only a 20% gap, you can see a vast difference between the qualitative aspects, the location, and the surrounding of Hillion residences compared to the Botany that's going at 2,000 even before launch.
Yeah.
Yep. So you can actually consider some of these developments. Yep. And we'll go more in depth with you. You can join us, contact us, right? And we take a look at unprofitable transactions also. There's mostly the small bidders lah.
Yeah. Small bedrooms, right?
Yep.
Yeah, great. Okay, so I think that this entire sharing, I hope it brought you, it's an hour plus, right? I hope it bring you some insights about considering one of the few OCR projects, right, in Singapore, right? And before buying any of it, remember, do your due diligence and do your homework first. But similarly, at the end of every episode, right, we are always going to be doing the BUA approach. Whether you should buy, wait, or avoid. Assuming PSF is above $2,000 and under 1,900 per square foot. Okay? 1,900 for a 2-bedroom or 3-bedroom. Let's talk about 4 or 5-bedroom at 1,009 or 1,008, right? Okay? So I'm going to make it clear again. 2,000 per square foot and above for the Myst. Will you buy, wait, or avoid? And then under 1,900 per square feet for a 2-bedroom and a 3-bedroom or 3-bedroom in the Myst. Will you buy, wait, or avoid? Okay, based on this price.
3-bedroom?
Yes.
Okay.
So let's go for the first option first. Okay. Above 2,000 PSF, will you buy, wait, or avoid? Okay. 3, 2, 1. Avoid. That didn't sound very convicted.
Avoid.
Because you're thinking, is it?
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
okay. I think I also was thinking a little bit because I was just thinking that it really depends on the resale price gap eventually as well, how the resale properties are actually functioning, right? Let's say you sell at 2,000 or 2,001 and then nearby Eco Century, right, goes up to the average transaction of 1,008, 1,009, then it may not be a bad purchase already, right? Okay, let's say under 1,009 PSF for a 2-bedroom or 3-bedroom. Will you buy, wait, or avoid? Wow, tough this one. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Wait. Okay, why wait?
Okay. So actually, there's a few things that you can consider based on what the price is like. I mean, definitely wait as in if you actually get a very good number, you can definitely consider something that's low quantum.
Yeah.
Low quantum. And but the thing is that the very big problem with this area, right, is there's not something to price hedge against because there's no new development aside from Hillview Rise, and Hillview Rise will only launch at most likely around 2000 2001.
Yeah.
So it's very difficult for prices thereafter to be pulled up.
Yeah.
Yeah. But this is one side of the coin. The other side of the coin is that immediately around Cashew, there is no new developments.
Yes.
So in terms of supply, it's very, very low.
Yes.
Demand might be higher also.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Purely because there's no other alternatives.
Supply alternatives, right? Personally, I think wait, because if it's about 1,008, 1,009, right, I want to see quite interesting things happening between the Botany and the Myst. The developers will fight it out and I'm going to see which PSF drops. And the first to sell under, I'll consider that. Because in terms of locality wise, of course the Myst is slightly better, but if the drop of the Botany pricing is way more, I'm going to consider Botany, right? Okay, thank you so much for watching this episode with us about the Myst. And we just hope that you have benefited from this sharing. If you have yet to join the Telegram channel, please join the Telegram channel as always. And of course, contact us if you need any help with your investment purchase, right? Anytime we are here. And thank you so much all for sending all the very nice, encouraging messages to our, to us personally, and of course the central number as well, right? Thank you so much for watching yet again episode on Singapore's Real Estate Explained. And we just hope that we can see you for the next one, okay? This is Jervis.
This is Caleb.
Bye-bye till we meet again. Bye-bye.